Hello.
Welcome, High Commissioner. Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you all. And we have 23 as of now, and another maybe 10 more members to join in. But due to the paucity of time, we thought let's start off with. And great to have you, maybe on your last working day as the High Commissioner in Singapore. So thanks for giving us an opportunity to be with you, virtually at least, and giving us a chance to thank you for all your help and support that you have provided to Indian industries in Singapore, to the IBF, for being a great patron, supporting us, standing with us, pushing us, and what all. You've done everything for us. So we thought this is a great opportunity for us to say thank you, to be with you and say bye-bye. So I'll request Mr. KV Rao, the chairman, to briefly say a few words initially, and then we will ask you to speak, sir. And then we also want all our members to say what they feel about you, being with you, having worked with you. And then we'll try and see to keep it to the time limits that you have told us, 30 minutes or max at 40, 45 minutes, we'll close it off. But it'll be great to have you off at on your last working day, sir. So over to you, Chairman, sir.
Thanks, Jesh. Good afternoon, High Commissioner of India to Singapore. Perhaps formally I'll address with this for the last time because you will be now ambassador to France as you move from Monday onwards. A bit overcome with emotion because I'm so grateful to you that are giving us 40 minutes on a day when you just packed up and you're all about to leave. So it shows your affection for all of us. This is going to be a very informal session. All of them want to hear you, and many of them want to say a word or two to you. So we'll keep it very brief. And we are doing this in the afternoon of Singapore's election. And I sometimes wonder, to be informal, I think your popularity exceeds many people who are standing in for the election here amongst the Indian community. So it's a real true compliment because you're on our mind since morning. I put your one page which Tabla published this morning about you, which was remarkable, and they requested me to say a few things. And when I put it on my Facebook, Commissioner Javed, it's been flooded with comments from people from all over. I know that you're on Twitter and not on Facebook, and I somehow had a problem to tag you with your photograph. I just want to say that what a wonderful journey it's been. I was just thinking about the first time I met you. I suppose you will recollect, maybe you came into take charge in November 2016 here. And remember, the first VIP from India was actually the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, the next Tata Steel employee, and Raghubar Das. Yes. So that was my first meeting. Actually, I didn't get to meet you one-on-one. We straight went into a conference room. I had to say welcome to him, and I was then immediately switched into Hindi. And I still remember the first exchange of words we had when we came out, because you must have met a lot of local and South Indians. Like, Hindi bahut acha bolte ho aap. So I spent half my life in Delhi professionally. So, and then we've been wonderful friends, and we've invited you to spend time with the Tata family, the Indian corporate families here, and you're such a person who has endured yourself so much to all of us. And what you all do not know, perhaps, is beyond being a diplomat, he's a phenomenal writer, not just a speaker. Published a book on his days in Nepal. It's called A Day in the Life of Kathmandu, I think, if I remember right. Lots of photographs. And he has a fantastic collection of photographs of his memories in Singapore for a little over 3.5 years or so. And I've been urging him, and he said, yes, I think the book will come sometime. And I think we will be very supportive to that and see how we can realize to put all your experiences in a permanent form. And what he has done beyond his area of diplomacy is in the space of arts, in the space of community, in the space of yoga, I mean, name it, even Ayurveda. Apart from what he did in economic sphere and on the political side and the diplomatic side, absolutely stellar role. I don't think India can get a better diplomat than you to go to an important relationship in Europe. He's very strong on the defense side. I've had so many interesting conversations with him, with people who he has worked with in the Foreign Service. Some of them were associated with with me because of Mr. Ronan Sen, you worked with Jaishankar. So, we've had so much of feedback and always people say such lovely things about you. So you are leaving Singapore with absolutely leaving a very, very bright and I would say golden trail, which will be very difficult to for anyone to sort of beat. We wish you all the very best and we want to hear from you and what you would like to say to us, all of us, and we'd love to stay in touch with you. And then I'll request whoever wants to speak for a bit, as long as time permits. Keep it brief and sweet. And with that, High Commissioner Javed Ashraf, please say a few words for us, please. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. K.V. Rao. Thank you, Jayesh. Those were really, really excessively generous words. I'm not certain that I deserve all of that. But I have to say that you've all been wonderful friends and supporters in the cause that is common to all of us, which is the interests of India and the interests of India-Singapore relations, the Indian corporate interests here. But above all, many of you have been great friends in this 3.5 years, and what makes a place memorable and the experiences worth cherishing are the relationships that we form in the course of our journey through various places. So thank you once again. And Mr. Rao, you of course wear so many hats that I can hardly restrict our interaction to either personal or to business, or it covers so many different areas. And I think in many ways you've been a bridge in the different segments of our community, particularly the old and the new diaspora. And you've been a bridge between the community and the government, between the community and the larger Singaporean society and the establishment. And above all, you've played a very big role in the cause of our India-Singapore partnership. And so your leadership will remain very important to the more complex and I think somewhat diverse ways in which we can build our interests here, build our influence, our presence, and of course our relationships in a very important partner of India, not just in this region, but in the wider Indo-Pacific region. Now, whenever we think of Singapore, of course, business springs to our mind, and it has been an extraordinary pillar in our relationship. And so Singapore isn't just a leading investment source for India or a leading trading partner or a key partner in many areas of development priorities for India, from skills development to urban solutions, to infrastructure, logistics, capacity building and training. So there are many areas where we work together, but Singapore is also a leading gateway for India and Indian businesses, a springboard into the broader East and the world beyond. Because whether we think of it in political or defense and security terms, or we think of it in business or technology and innovation terms, Singapore is usually the place we think of intellectually, diplomatically, economically, and certainly in terms of security, as the place we would use as a base for a wider outreach into the world and the region. Indian businesses have been here, and it is again a tribute to both the relationship and to Singapore that Singapore is the leading destination for Indian investments and Indian companies. I cannot think of any other city in the world which would have such a diverse and such a strong presence of Indian businesses, representing virtually every sector of significance and consequence. So it gives us a great deal of strength and confidence, because we feel that when we think of Indian presence here, it isn't just the High Commission that makes a difference. It is the entire Team India, as we would like to call it now, and the important players in Team in India, the leading batsmen of the team, are obviously the Indian corporate sectors. Now, like Rahul Dravid, you've been a great wall, but you haven't really been very visible. And the contributions that you have made is like Rahul Dravid doing 50+ average, but somehow not getting the level of attention that Sachin Tendulkar gets. but it is partly our own individual fault. We have all been going about doing our businesses with our heads down and doing what we've been sent here to do. But if you imagine what we are collectively over here, we represent a great force. And we've had a long discussion with this just a couple of months ago in Pan Pacific, or was it in the Mandarin Oriental, I think, when we all met for a lovely evening of dinner. And I'd say this, that one of the regrets I have, frankly, over the last 3 years is that we haven't done as much with the IBF as we would have liked to, or we should have, because it comes as a surprise to many in Singapore that there is such a large presence of Indian businesses over here, and that we are making a difference to Singapore as an economy, in terms of its jobs, employment, technological advancement, its digitalization, and in solving some of the social problems that we face in the city. So we've all played a big role in contributing to Singapore's own prosperity and its own reputation as a center of business, as a hub of finance and technology and transport and communication. So going forward, this is a message that I'd like to keep repeating, is that we should certainly bandy together more, make ourselves more visible, engage more closely with the government, with the leadership, with the wider constituency, also contribute as we've done just now, which I think deserves a very special word of thanks to all of you for a very significant contribution that IBF made towards the cause of the migrant workers at the time of this great health crisis. Now, it is not an easy time for any corporate, because we face long periods of uncertainty ahead of us, contracting and shrinking businesses. And in this time, to be able to spare all that we have, to make a visible and a meaningful contribution to the migrant workers, many from India and from other countries. I think it has been widely appreciated by the leadership here. Ms. Indrani Raja, a very important minister in Prime Minister's office and one of the great future leaders of this country, was there. And in doing so, we have shown what our values are as corporates and as representatives of India, that we are here not just to do business, but to make a difference to the lives of people in a country that is playing host to us. This is a spirit that we must continue to nurture and foster and continue to contribute in diverse ways. You can do that by working with vulnerable sections of society. You can do that in terms of sustainability and climate change. And you can do that with respect to the elderly and so on and so forth. But really in doing that, you will be, it'll be like a force multiplier. And I think in a very practical terms also, it brings us greater visibility, greater proximity and respect from the leadership and the society in Singapore. And likewise, as I said before, that we need to do more profiling of Indian businesses here and the contributions that they are making in the context of with the media. Now, during this election, you've seen how much CII itself has come under scrutiny, as it has done in previous elections, this election too. And CII is essentially seen as something that has opened the floodgates for Indians to come in here. Sometimes it is expressed very bluntly, sometimes it is expressed through innuendos, but that feeling is there. But we don't see here the enormous contribution that CII is making to Singapore and the Singaporean economy and society. And some of you, and all of you are in a sense representatives of that contribution. So this is why I keep saying that we need to make ourselves more visible and contribute both through the media and through the larger engagement with the political leadership and society. And in doing so, you will be also making a bigger strategic contribution. Everybody I have met in the course of the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, I have had the opportunity to meet virtually the entire cabinet, besides the president, the prime minister, the senior ministers, emeritus senior minister, and all of them have said that, you know, RCEP or no RCEP, and we understand India's compulsions, we would like to see India more engaged and more visible and more present in Southeast Asia and especially in Singapore. This is something, an expectation and a yearning that runs through the entire leadership and those who are opinion makers and policy makers in this country. Now, we are present here in political terms. We have a very significant presence here in defense and security terms, which we explained to you during the last meeting. But the real public face is the business presence, the business engagement. So therefore, it is important for us to continue this presence over here and to make it more visible. The second aspect, which is important as we look ahead, India is not part of RCEP, but this is going to be this vast market which will be RCEP. So we need to also make sure that we are present in larger numbers or in greater magnitude over here in Singapore and in Southeast Asia, to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that will come about as a result of RCEP. And in some cases also as a result of the comprehensive and progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership. And some of these countries are members of that. And for that, we'll have to encourage our headquarters, we'll have to encourage other companies to be bold, to be imaginative, and to take the risk to be aggressively present in Southeast Asia, to do businesses here. And no one can guide this process. No other people can actually share that kind of experience than all our companies that are present here. So you're going to have a very important role, not just in expanding your presence here, but in also being able to act as mentors, as guides, as the people who will show the light to other Indian corporates in how to expand their presence here in Southeast Asia. Similarly, and I think it is equally important that we use the India Business Forum to engage more with the larger business community in Singapore and in ASEAN region, because at the end of the day, what businesses require is practical experience and guidance and tips of how to do business in India. Everyone is aware of the market opportunities. Everyone knows the fundamentals of India's economy are strong. They are going to be sustained for a very long period of time. And that when you scan the world, India represents a land of great opportunities. But people ask the question, how do we do business here? So when we have informal exchanges with the Singapore Business Federation, with the other chambers of commerce, and I'd say particularly given the importance that we now attach in India with this last couple of months to the rejuvenation of the MSME sector and making it the backbone and the bulwark of Indian economy, we need to get SMEs here and in this part of the world connected to India and vice versa. So it will be very good if IBF also starts engaging with chambers to share their experiences. And you represent the entire spectrum of all that any business needs, from finance to trading to logistics to everything that manufacturing. So this is the other area which I think will be important in coming days. And when they learn from you, they'll have much greater confidence than they would if we told them about how good a place it is to do business in, because that's our job. And they know that we are not there on the field to actually share personal, real experiences. So I think IBF is really, from my vision and my perspective, a great institution and a great force of strength for our vision, our aspirations, and our goals in Southeast Asia, both for us at the mission and in the context of the larger Indian interests that I've just spoken about over here. So we will never have the level of visibility and presence as our interests require without the active involvement, participation, and support of the Indian businesses, and without their becoming more active and visible in the region themselves. But again, I'd like to thank all of you. And there have been different occasions in the past 3.5 years when we have done mega events over here. We've done Republic Day celebrations, which are the largest among all National Day celebrations in Singapore. None of this would have been possible without the active participation and support of all our companies in Singapore. It's thanks to you that we are able to do a reception on the Republic Day, which really reflects who we are and who we ought to be in Singapore and in the region. It is really the largest that we have anywhere and the largest among the missions over here. And similarly, for all the support we had for the Business and Innovation Summit, for the Prime Minister's visit in 2018, and also for the wonderful Pravasi Bharatiya Divas that we did, and for so many other occasions. You've always been willing, enthusiastic, and very engaged participants in all our endeavors. So for all that, we want to thank you. Once again, it is the most unusual situation to say farewell because we're all experiencing a vast array of restrictions. Otherwise, we would have liked to once again meet over a nice meal and talk a little more about all that we can do together. I'm going to be succeeded by Mr. P. Kumaran. He's coming in from Doha. Person brings a lot of experience to his next assignment here. And I'm sure he would be looking forward to working with you just as much as I have. You're going to be having, fortunately, Jay Prahasam, our first Secretary Commerce, and Farhad Khan, our first Secretary Economic, both of whom engage very actively with you. And they're here, going to be here for some time, even though Ninad Deshpande, my deputy, will also be leaving in the course of the next 10 days. Like in corporate life, we also go through this process of constant change and renewal. And I'm sure with your support, the mission here will achieve greater heights in the coming years. So thank you once again, and thank you for all your friendships and your support. All the best as you now look forward to recovering from the pandemic and taking your businesses back to where it belongs at the right levels. Thank you.
Thank you so much, High Commissioner. It's always very perfect in what you want to communicate to us in the most effective manner. I think things have got better organized in CII, IBF over the last year or so. And I think once that positive momentum is there, we'll do more. And I think all that you say is so important to get our place in Singapore recognized by the leadership. And I think there's a lot of work to be done, and we'll do that collectively, and we'll keep in touch. And we'll keep you informed on what we are doing, though this will not be your area, but we will continue to do that, to keep in touch and tell you what we've done, share some pictures and the activities as well.
And to see some of you in Paris too. Yes.
Yes, I used to go there very regularly. Lots of friends, because I grew up in what was French India, or a little colony in Pondicherry. So that connect has got very excited over the last 2 days with my social posts. So they've been sending bienvenue, and welcome to you and all of that. So we will be in touch, and we will visit as well. Because of the paucity of time, we have about 15 minutes to really keep our word with the High Commissioner. So that gives a couple of us to say a few words.
Yeah,
if you can use the word, yeah, I can see Anupam and Girish, so we'll go alphabetic. Anupam comes first. Anupam, keep it very brief and short, please. You have to unmute. Huh? I hope you all know how to raise the hand. If you can't do it electronically, raise the hand physically. I can still see you. So, yeah. Okay, Vivek, I'll come to you. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Your Excellency, sir, you have always been, we have always drawn a lot of strength from you. The Indian community in Singapore is as diverse as our country, and you have connected with ease and charm with all parts of Indian community due to your varied and deep interest across arts, culture, business, finance, fintech, and the list goes on. We feel very proud, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Anupam. We go with Girish.
Bonjour, High Commissioner. It is France's game while we see the loss of Singapore, but I'm sure that our paths will definitely cross. I want to thank you for all the work that you have done to help us through this 3.5 years. You've always put India's interest ahead of everything else, and always asked us to look at that in that particular way, and we want to thank you for that. I will always remember the National Day that we did together, and like what you said, it was definitely something where everybody wanted to be. It was the party in town to be And I will also remember the one thing that you always prodded me, which is to ensure that what we do on the Shine Seniors will put up in the national newspaper. So I will take it up as a challenge, put it up, and then come back to you and show it to you as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Girish. Vivek, you had raised hand.
Yes, Hi Commissioner, good afternoon. Very few words. I would firstly like to thank you for your leadership. Secondly, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you over the last 3.5 years. We're not a company, we're a law firm. So we get to interact at various intersections of law, policy, economics. And lastly, I would like to thank you for the number of platforms you have provided to all of us, and especially to a law firm, to be able to provide our thought leadership on various issues dealing with India and Singapore. And just to cap it off, as you said, we've in fact recently launched a program for getting Indian companies educated on doing business in Southeast Asia. So it's not only going into India and explaining to them about laws. We recently covered Myanmar, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Cambodia. So that's another kind of input we are providing Indian companies. So thank you very much. All the very best, and hope to see you sometime in Paris.
Thank you, Vivek. Pradeep, LIC of India.
Good evening, sir. I must thank you first of all for all the support given to LIC here. I still remember my first meeting with you when our chairman, Mr. M.R. Kumar, had visited last year. And that was the first meeting. And then afterwards, there's a couple of occasions I had when I could hear you, especially that Bhojpuri Film Festival. And that only gave me the idea how eloquent you are, and on films also, and on any subject for that matter. You are so thorough and speak with a lot of authority. Thanks a lot, sir. And I, on my personal behalf and on behalf of LIC of India, I wish you all the best for your next assignment at France. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, who's going next? I see Srinivasan Raja. Yeah, Srini, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Your Excellency. Srinivasan from Air India and Air India Express. The loss of Singapore is going to be a gain for Indian community in France. So you have helped immensely many organizations in Singapore, Indian organizations, and we were one of those companies which was benefited by that, Air India and Air India Express. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best in your new assignments. Thank you.
Rahul Mathur, Tata Communications.
Yeah. So dear sir, thank you very much. And I got a chance to hear you and meet you in a couple of occasions over the past 2-3 years. But I think we've all been following your great work in Singapore. As I think we also mentioned that we are all in deep awe of the depth of knowledge that you have and your eloquence on any subject, and the way you have been conducting the relationships building between India, Singapore at a business level or startup community, and the way you do it by connecting people, at a very emotional level. The events that you have been instrumental in creating in Singapore, like Pravasi Bharatiya Divas or Independence Day, or the recent concert for Amjad Ali Khan and the Chinese orchestra are memorable. The way you're connecting with people at the deepest level, and I think that is what is driving the change that we are all seeing there. We wish you all the very best, and we look forward for you transforming that relationship between France and India going forward. So thank you, sir.
Yes. I see Kishore. You want to say Kishore from State Bank of India?
Yeah, good afternoon, High Commissioner and other dignitaries. Sir, in fact, your initiatives in Singapore has actually made the Indian diaspora to look very great, and everybody got activated with the initiatives you have taken for the organizations in Singapore. Particularly to State Bank of India, whenever we meet up, the direction and the guidance you gave in terms of the technology and other visibility initiatives actually helped us to move forward in this direction. So thank you very much, sir, for all the support and guidance given to State Bank of India. And we wish you all the best in your next assignment at France.
Thank you. Mr. Sushil Kumar Ghosh, you should switch on your video and we can't see you, and also your mic has to be unmuted.
Sir, good afternoon. Actually, I am in Singapore for last 1 year, and our High Commissioner Sri Javed Ashraf has, what I have seen, he has improved the visibility of India in Singapore. He has projected the image of our country and strengthened in all forums that our cultural and business ties. I have seen him to be present in almost many functions of Indian diaspora. Not only our program on cricket competition among all the Indian-based bankers, not only in some community programs, in cultural programs, everywhere he used to attend and he used to inspire us. I am sure in his new assignment also in France, he will build up and strengthen the cultural and business ties like Singapore. And I am sure that with he will be all successful there in his endeavor in new assignment as ambassador to France. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the supports.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, that's right. Kaviraj. Yeah. You have to unmute, please, Kaviraj. Kaviraj, unmute.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. I am Kaviraj from GAY. I mean, after meeting you, my perception about the diplomat is further refined. I mean, particularly for the Indian diplomats. I mean, the way you conduct yourself and connect with everybody, I mean, it's an inspiration. And second thing which stands out is the kind of interest you show in every field. That's amazing. I mean, no field is untouchable for you. The reason why I'm saying is, as a diplomat, you called once a meeting with all the heads of the Indian oil companies. And he spent almost 2 hours with us to understand what these oil POCs in Singapore are doing. You know, he got into the nuances of this and then asked us that in case of any help, I mean, he is there for us. I mean, that's the kind of interest he was showing. And other fields, I mean, thanks to you, because of you, we could watch, you know, Marathi movie like Anandi and all that too, along with my wife. And in a kind of, you know, multicultural ambience where I felt proud that we Indians make such movies. And to sum it, we wish you good health and great success in your next thing. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not able to see the hands here. So anyone else? Yeah, Sriram. Yeah, Sriram from Tata Chemicals. Yeah.
Hi, sir. We had very limited interactions. Last time we met for the IBF meeting, and I was quite impressed with the professionalism and the versatility that you carried in you. We will dearly miss you. We wish you all the best in the fashion capital of the world, going from a small red dot to a huge a country like France. We wish you all the best. Mr. Rao mentioned about this coffee table book, A Day in the Life of Kathmandu. It's about 130 photographs on the Nepal earthquake. One day probably we'll sit and understand what drove you to to devote your time in such a passionate field. I'm also interested in photography. So I'd like to understand from you, and one day, you know, what made you feel. You know, I would love to read the coffee table book one day. Thank you very much, and we hope to continue your passion in Singapore for India. Thank you.
And Ms. Sudeshna? Sudeshna from India Tourism.
Yep.
Sudeshna. You need to unmute, please.
Kindly unmute,
Hello.
kindly unmute.
Yeah. Dear sir, it was an absolute privilege to have known you, to have heard about your ideas. I know how much tourism is a subject dear to your heart. And I remember all your little advices and ideas that you shared and you told us to do during the organization of the roadshow. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your support and guidance. And here's wishing you a very successful and even better tenure ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Yeah, Mr. Radhakrishna Reddy. If you can, hello.
Yeah. Mr. Reddy, are you speaking? We can't hear you. No.
Okay, we'll move to Mr. Anuj Agarwal.
Anuj, yeah, Anuj Agarwal. Unmute, please.
Unmute, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. On behalf of GAIL India Limited, we wish you all the best in your next tenure. I feel since I came to Singapore a couple of months back, but the inspiration which I got from the High Commission and your personal talkings, which I heard during the IBF forums and 26th January, is too great. I hope to, at least I should have spent more time under your guidance to learn more about it. Anyway, I wish all the best for you for your next post in Paris. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anuj. Well, to keep time, we have just another 2 minutes to go. If anyone's hand, yeah, Sabya, okay. Sabya Mishra, Tata International.
Yes, Mr. Ashraf, good afternoon. It has been, I think I've had the privilege of interacting with you on many occasions, both on the IIT as well as on business side, as well as ODI society. So I think people have said enough about your versatility in terms of moving from one area to another without any hindrance at all. Only thing I think that an ambassador like you only have 30 years to contribute. I wish it could be much more, because you can put India at the right pedestal in so many countries. So definitely the last few years that you have spent here, proud to say that seen India rising to the level which it deserves in Southeast Asia, and all the diaspora has been fully engaged during this period, and I'm sure your predecessor, your successor would similarly continue the journey that you have begun here, and wish you all the best to do the same in a place where you have to probably pick up the language a little more than what you had to do here, but I'm sure you would do that. Thank you, and all the best on your next assignment.
Thank you, Sabya. I think we are running out of time. Unless I see a particular hand, we would then like to, bring this wonderful session. And it's remarkable that he's taken time out while he's just about, on Sunday morning to fly out. That shows the importance of his, commitment to what he takes up. And I had the opportunity to call on him personally, and he said on Monday he will reach Paris and he will straight go to his office. So that is a High Commissioner for all of you, completely driven on what he wants to do. And what amazes me is his remarkable knowledge. And since you all talked about so many snippets of how you have experienced his depth of knowledge, there was an occasion when he talked about Port of Singapore Authority and the number of ships that come and go, and the speed at which they go, and the turnaround time between Rotterdam Port and Singapore. I said, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, if I had heard it from a leader of a trading company or a shipping company, it was different. But hearing about this in such depth and such detail with data, absolutely amazing. I think he's a remarkable individual. And I only wish that, as somebody said, 30 years, he's got lots and lots more to contribute to India. And there are some great examples who have been diplomats turned into, leaders. So I really wish him a great innings in his career, and he and his family. We've had a wonderful interactions with Ghazala, very quiet lady, but doing such wonderful work in the space of environment and sustainability. I think both of you are leaving behind a whole lot of friends here who will really want to also invite you back to Singapore for a holiday, just as you did as far as our coming to France. Yes. But you're always welcome to Singapore. We'll love to host you. Because I don't want to take any more time, I'd like to once again thank you for your kindness to indulge with us. And thanks, Jayesh, for pulling it off, and Gagi at such short notice with the High Commissioner's office. And thank you for all your team who have been so helpful to us, and we shall stay in touch. And in the very French way, it is après-midi now, which is afternoon, and au revoir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, thank you to all of you. Really, this is a remarkable.
Yeah, he's showing something now. Yeah, some pictures. Yeah.
Something wanted to give you.
From the first and the last one, right?
Yeah. Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you very
sorry.
much, all of you. Very kind words. It's actually all of you who give me and give my team the strength and the confidence to do the things that we do. And each of you is an ambassador of India here because you represent India in the work that you do and in the life that you lead, you and your families over here. And together we make a great team. This is really the last official engagement. I still have a couple of meetings, but as an official engagement, today this is the last one before but I'll still be in office till Sunday because I have to complete a number of things and then hand it over to my successor, who will of course come 2 or 3 days, 3 days after I leave. But really, in one sense, it is appropriate, it is fitting that we have a formal final engagement in Singapore with the Indian Business Forum. It means a great deal to us, and that just shows what a special place IBF has in our scheme of things, and love to see it continue that way. Be very happy to come back to Singapore. DPM Heng suggested that when I go to Delhi, there is a flight via Singapore that I could take, and that I could do a 2-day layover. I said, yes, that sounds like a great idea. I shall propose it to Government of India to make this as an official route to travel between Paris and
We'll
Delhi.
certainly get full support from Dr. Jaishankar for that.
Yes, certainly. I'll get support from my minister. Jayesh, thank you for your own contribution to CII and to IBF over here, and to all the work that you've done for the mission. And for us, I always felt that you were part of our team, and you seamlessly integrated with all our endeavors. And that is how we'd like to see Team India work in Singapore, for all of us to feel that we're on the same side and that we are in part of the same team, and which you all are. Thank you once again. I've really enjoyed all my interactions. Thank you once again for very generous remarks and very kind words from all of you. And all the best. I wish you all continuing success and great progress in everything that you do, and best wishes to you and your families. And look forward to seeing you really here or in Paris. And certainly we'll follow the steps that we take and the progress that we make in the years ahead. Thank you once again, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.